Kinder Morgan now has the access it wants to Burnaby Mountain, and crews have spent most of the night surveying the area, but protesters have vowed to return despite several arrests being made yesterday. Greg Harper is live in Burnaby this morning with the latest. Greg.
Good morning, Kyle, and we have seen a few protesters here this morning. Lots of police remain here as well, and Kinder Morgan is here too. This is what it looks like here now. You can see a large fenced-off area there. That's where the main protest camp was, and this is where Kinder Morgan is resuming its survey work. It was quite heated, you could say, here yesterday. RCMP moved in just after 8 o'clock yesterday morning, beginning enforcement on an injunction allowing Kinder Morgan to resume survey work as the energy giant looks to expand its Trans Mountain oil pipeline. Anyone that was in a specified area was arrested, one after another. Officers dragged protesters away. According to a Burnaby RCMP, 26 arrests were made, 5 remain in custody. Now, some demonstrators initially hunkered down, including one woman who even locked her head to a concrete block. But most of the protesters eventually moved, vowing to fight another day.
This is not going away, because why would we stop fighting? What have we got to lose? We're about to lose the earth. We're about to lose 50% of the species on the earth from when I was born are already gone. Why would I stop? Why would any of us stop?
We secure the areas and keep them secure for Kinder Morgan to do their work, and that's the next step for us.
How long will the RCMP be here?
As long as it takes.
Now, Kyle, behind me is this container, and this has some of the items that were part of this main protest camp. And in behind that container are a couple of First Nations people. They are still in an area that's in contravention of the court order. There is a sacred fire burning there, and police right now are working on a solution to remove it respectfully. Kyle?
Greg Harper live this morning in Burnaby. Greg, thanks for that. Kinder Morgan says it had to make sure its workers could enter the site safely before it was able to descend on Burnaby Mountain yesterday. Kinder Morgan is trying to bore holes for a proposed tunnel right through Burnaby Mountain. It wants to expand its Trans Mountain pipeline, which stretches from Edmonton to Burnaby.
We need to take in a drill and get 2 6-inch boreholes that take a sample of the earth underneath the surface. And really what that's going to tell us at the end of the day is whether a tunnel route through Burnaby Mountain is feasible.
The provincial government, meantime, is trying to land its first big LNG deal still, but a prominent First Nation is now on side. The Nisga'a Nation has agreed to a 100-kilometer pipeline across its territory. It will carry liquefied natural gas through northwestern BC, likely to an export facility near Prince Rupert. The Nisga'a will receive $6 million in the deal.
We have repeatedly stated we are open for business. Through the Nisga'a final agreement, it gives us access to participate in the economy of British Columbia.
The Nisga'a deal hinges on the province reaching a deal with Malaysian energy giant Petronas. It's pondering a $10 billion investment in a Prince Rupert plant. There's a new twist in the unfair firings of a group of provincial health researchers. BC's opposition is now laying the blame with the Premier's office. The NDP says documents show Christy Clark's office was involved in the decision to fire the researchers and manage the fallout. The researchers were let go for a supposed information breach. The government later reversed course and apologized, but not before one researcher, Roderick McIsaac, took his own life.
Surely the goodness, the Premier recognizes that everyone around her is up to their neck in this file. And wouldn't it be more appropriate, and I'll speak through you, for her to do the right thing and find someone outside of her band of travelers to look at this most despicable case that involved the lives of 8 dedicated British Columbians?
The government is conducting a review of the firings, but one former official says it's tainted because the people conducting it were involved in the firings. A fresh dump of snow has brought Buffalo's 3-day snowfall total to an epic 2 meters. Some areas got close to another 2 feet of white stuff yesterday afternoon. That's about 60 centimeters. Roofs began to creak and collapse under the weight of all that snow. People living in western New York are being asked by the governor to stay off the roads as crews struggle to dig out. At least 10 deaths being blamed on this storm, and there are fears of flooding as the forecast calls for rain and temperatures of 13 degrees Celsius in the coming days. Ryan Kessler made his return to Vancouver last night to visit the Canucks with his Anaheim Ducks.
Jammed around to the near side. Henriksen has his pass deflect back to him. Now he finds Daniel to the side. Verbata, DC scores!
Radim Verbata with that second period goal with a little help from Daniel Sedin. Canucks up 3-2. Anaheim would score in the third period to tie the game up at 3, so we need a shootout to settle things up. Anaheim's Kessler shoots second. He shoots, but is stopped by Eddie Lack. Anaheim's last shooter is Jakob Silfverberg. He scores to steal the game. Anaheim Ducks win this one 4-3 in the shootout. And for some teams in some cities, a record of 9-9 and a playoff appearance isn't really that bad, but it was a big disappointment for the BC Lions, and that is why Mike Benavides has lost his job. The Lions fired him after 3 seasons as head coach. GM Wally Buono made the decision despite the two being very close. Buono took him under his wing 14 years ago in Calgary as an unpaid assistant, but the Lions' pitiful performance down the stretch was just too much to overlook, including a 50-17 playoff thumping in Montreal.
We need to be fresh. Hey guys, that might mean a year or two of stumbling. Okay, because I'm not promising that all of a sudden you were winning the Grey Cup next year, because I think I would be not real smart. Okay, but I think we have to be fresh. We have to begin again. We have to reinstitute new blood. New blood.
Benavides did not win a single playoff game. Meanwhile, Wally Buono has all but ruled out a return to the sideline for himself.